Hi, everybody. I'm Michele Denton from the West Nebraska Art Center, and we're giving you another class today, and I am doing Joan Miro. And he was a famous artist that lived about 60 years ago. He passed away, but he is a surrealist artist. So we're going to study a little bit about him and his dreamlike artwork that he created. And specifically, he created a group of paintings called his Constellation Group. And there were 23 of them he did later in his life. And we're going to look at those, and I'm going to help you make one. So let's get started. Joan Miro. Here's a few facts about him. He lived from 1893, that's when he was born, and he passed away in 1983. So he's 90 years old. He was a Spanish painter and sculptor. He's a very important artist of the 20th century, and he developed a pictorial sign language. So he made his own sign language in his art, primarily using circles and stars and eyes and birds and curvy lines. And he combined these abstract art, and it's kind of abstract art for him. It was a surrealist fantasy. It's like a dream. His most famous paintings were created when he was in his 70s and 80s. So there's hope for all of us eventually. Joan Miro supplies. Okay, so we need a pencil. Got a pencil. We need drawing paper, colored pencils. And I have these really inexpensive ones, but they work great. And then and markers, several pages of scratch paper. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying, like, I probably have maybe 6 pieces of paper here that I'm going to lay my drawing paper over the top of. So when you're drawing with colored pencil, it really helps make your colored pencil nice and smooth. Before we get started, though, I'm going to go over a few things that are very significant and part of your curriculum that Joan Miro used in these dreamlike paintings of his constellation. First of all, geometric shapes, and you guys all recognize those. Squares and circles, triangles, rectangles. And then he also used a lot of organic shapes. So they have really unusual edges and they don't look the same from one end to the other. Even the little banana thing is an organic shape. Here are some examples. I just drew this out. Some of his shapes and how he would place them. So if you look at some of his shapes, you can see that stars, he likes to do stars. They aren't always a 6 or 5 pointed star. Sometimes they're 4. This looks like a mustache. He does a lot of eyes, big eyeballs, and he loves birds, and birds are kind of wonky, the ones he does, but you can still recognize it's a bird. I don't know what this is, a little dog with little flicky hair on the back of his head or something. This looks like a shooting star, and then this looks like the big comma, and he's got a lot of like starbursts. So these are actual paintings or drawings of his. Now you can go back and look at some of the shapes that he uses. Remember, we were talking about geometric shapes, circles, triangles, and then there's some rectangles here, more circles for the eyes. And then you can see a lot of organic shapes like the legs here. Even this is not a complete triangle. It's kind of unusual shaped, and this is like a bean shape, 2 more bean shapes. So he uses both organic shapes and geometric shapes. And this was an actual drawing of his. Here's another drawing. Can you recognize some of the shapes in there? Now, while you're looking at these, I want you to think about maybe doing the shapes he's done in your drawing, or maybe come up with your own shapes that you like maybe you like a sun or heart shapes or something that you might want to keep doing in your drawing. Once again, there's that mustache. And then his starburst shapes, circles, this big bean shape, he likes that a lot. And then I don't know for sure what that is. It's like an arrow with a ball on the end of it. This looks like a snake with a big round head. So here's some of his paintings. Same thing, look and see if you can see the eyes. That looks like an eye, this looks like an eye. Circles, there's triangles in there. And if you notice, like some of his shapes intersect, which means that they lay one right over the other one. And see where this shape lays on top of this shape? He made all of those different colors. That really accentuates them, makes them stand out. Here's two more of his famous paintings from that Constellation series. Same thing. I mean, these are more simple, but you can see a star here. He likes the rectangle. Now that one's almost a combination of geometric shape and organic. It's got a little bit of different, and then he drew that line through there, and he made those two different colors where that line was. You see how this was laid over the top of this other one, and he made that a different color. This looks, I don't know, it's got a bird head, and it's kind of like a little bird beak, but what a weird little body. Maybe that's the bird's tail. Or maybe this is the bird's eye. Look, I just now noticed that. This might be his beak up here. He might be like yelling at that starburst thing or something. So he's always telling stories. This one, he has a dark background. Most of his paintings have light backgrounds. So are you guys, got just a couple more to show you. This one's very simple. Now this one's a little more stylized. It looks to me like a cat and a mouse. I don't know, is that a silly dog watching the cat and the mouse and a sun? So he's telling a story there somehow. Maybe he had all those animals. Now he did some things that were very simple. This looks like a person with his arms up and eyes, and so these quite often he made into sculptures, and here's two of his famous sculptures. His sculptures just look like he used everyday objects, but still the same kind of thing. Circles and his geometric shape, circles there, the eyes. And this one's, I don't know. Oh, I guess it shows up better in the camera. It almost looks like its legs are coming out here and it's holding like a dumbbell. And maybe there's a little bird at the top of that hat. I'm not sure. So we are going to get ready and do some drawing now. Now, remember all those papers I told you about? Like 5 or 6 papers? It's kind of like making a nice mattress or something, soft bed for your drawing paper to be on. I sketched out a few designs lightly with pencil so I can follow them. And then I'm going to go with a Sharpie, but a real thin one, and just start outlining all the different things you just made in pencil. So I'm going to outline all of these and where they intersect. Put the circles in there. Oh, here's that funny bird. I made a funny bird. Now this is just a design I came up with that kind of used all the different symbols that he used. In fact, I made that line go right through the middle, which kind of shows you where the beak is from the head. So that line kind of had a couple different purposes there. So once you get all that drawn on, here's a through magic there. It's all ready to go. Now I'm going to color it with different colors, but I'm not going to pick very many colors. In fact, most of the colors that I'm going to use are going to be the primary colors. We talked about those before, that they are red and yellow. And that's a lighter blue, but we're going to use that blue for today. Now I'm going to bring this one picture back of John Miro's. So see how he's colored things? He uses some greens in there too, but all 3 of his primaries are up there in that one color. There's yellow and red and blue. And then he uses quite a few of the shapes he makes black. So we're just going to start coloring things in. So on this little bird, I'm going to make this wing blue. Now, if you push down really hard and you've got those papers underneath, that makes the colored pencil really go into the fibers of the paper and makes it very nice and smooth. Now, when you're looking at places to color with blue, you try to get the blue to go around different places in your picture. So if I'm going around in a circle, maybe I'm going to make these guys blue. And this is a circle, and it has like a moon in there, and it has that line in there. So it creates all those different sections, and you want to color those different sections, different colors. Now I would take my time and color a little bit nicer, except for I want to do this quickly for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to color this one blue. We're going to go really fast here. And then maybe, let's see, what do I, oh, maybe it's the brow of the eye. We'll make this one blue. And this part of this star, I'm not going to color the whole star because I'm going to divide that up with that line in there. I'm going to make that one blue. Maybe make this one blue. Or else I might need a blue. If I come around, I might make this one blue too. Okay, let's think about red. So I think the other wing of this bird, I'll make red. I try to go the same direction with my colored pencils. But like here, I'm going to go this way a little bit. Your colored pencils don't have to be super sharp either. And you have to be kind of gentle with colored pencils because if you drop them, the lead inside of the pencil breaks. And so have you ever had it where you're sharpening your colored pencil and it keeps breaking off, just falling off? A lot of times that's because the inside, the lead's all broken. So don't put them in your backpack and drop them on the floor. Or you're like me and they roll off the table. Okay, where else should I put red? Maybe that bird's tongue sticking out. It's like screaming at something. Maybe part of these balls. I'll maybe make that one red. I might make this triangle look red. I'm just trying to get the colors to go all the way around. Now I'm even gonna like outline these a little bit. Because if I look at Miro's paintings or his drawings, he doesn't make it perfect. You know how I just kind of like sketch that coloring on top of there? We'll make this little box red. And maybe, let's see what else I want. I think I'll make this little starfish kind of red too. Not perfect. So remember, you might want to make your own things. Like I said, you might want to make hearts in there or diamond shapes or little dogs, something that you like. So then I'm going to use the other primary color. So we've got two of the three already, red and blue. So I'm going to put this yellow one up here. And then where else should I put yellow? Oh, the bird's beak would be yellow anyway. I'll just make that yellow. Maybe this triangle part. Yes. This one yellow too. Okay, so then that looks kind of like scribbly. I would take my time and do a better job coloring. But when you're done, it looks kind of like that. Looks like a John Miro painting or drawing. So I want you guys to think about the different shapes. Remember the triangles, the circles, all of the geometric shaped circles, square, and the organic shapes. The eye would be an organic shape. This little wonky bird for sure. This bird that's screaming, look how skinny his body is. It's just a line. And there's his tail. And see where his tail went into the other bird? Almost looks like this bird's foot is this bird's tail. So good luck. And I think you'll do some great John Miro drawings. One thing, don't forget to put your name on the back of the paper so the teacher knows who it belongs to. And we're always here at the West Nebraska Art Center. So anytime you guys want to stop in and show us your artwork, we'd love that. So the last thing I need to do is thank our wonderful sponsors, Nebraska Arts Council, the Nebraska Cultural Endowment or National Endowment for the Arts, and of course, your Scottsbluff Public Schools. Thank you, and we'll see you again with another video. Talk to you later.